This is Kuwait International Airport. Sometime in the last few days, a strike ripped through this terminal, leaving one Indian national dead and over 50 others injured. The destruction was swift. Initial reports and wreckage analysis immediately linked the attack to a swarm of Iranian military drones. Iran's official response to the incident was unexpected. They admitted the drones were theirs, but they denied that a civilian airport was ever the intended target. Tehran instead points to the American Patriot missile defense systems installed to protect Kuwait. They claim these systems critically failed during the intercept, causing the drones to crash directly into the passenger terminal. If Iran wasn't targeting the airport, it leaves two questions unanswered. Why were armed drones in Kuwaiti airspace at all? And why is the U.S. being blamed for a strike involving Iranian hardware? The smoke at Kuwait International is the first visible sign of an exchange that reached a boiling point exactly 24 hours before these drones arrived on the radar. To find the origin of the strike, we have to look back at the Strait of Hormuz. The United States currently maintains a strict naval blockade here, designed to choke off Iranian shipping operations. This map isolates the specific site of the escalation. In an effort to enforce that blockade, the American military launched a targeted strike on an Iranian territory known as Keshm Island. Keshm is a strategic hub. It houses subterranean tunnels and the drone boat fleets Iran uses to harass vessels in the strait, the exact hardware that provoked the U.S. attack. Iran's retaliation focused on the launch points of that American strike. They claim the aircraft responsible for hitting the island took off from bases within Kuwait and Bahrain. This is the specific logic of proxy warfare. Rather than launching a direct strike on American soil, Iran is targeting the third-party nations currently hosting U.S. military assets. It turns the physical geography of Kuwait and Bahrain into a liability, where civilians are caught in the middle of American military logistics. The U.S.-Iran skirmish is only one part of a wider regional firestorm that now includes Lebanon. Israeli leadership is currently pushing its military operations into Lebanon, bypassing directives from the U.S. and Donald Trump to maintain a regional ceasefire. Iran is using this defiance as a strategic opening. They have cited Israel's actions as the reason to declare their own adherence to any regional ceasefire completely null and void. The result is a chain reaction of unchecked aggression. Israel hits Lebanon, the U.S. hits Keshem, and Iran hits Kuwait. The established rules of engagement have disintegrated, leaving every player in the region engaged in an unrestrained shadow war. While the Middle East destabilizes, the atmosphere in Washington, D.C. is focused on a very different kind of de-escalation. There is a disconnect between the violence on the ground and the rhetoric in the Capitol. Senator Marco Rubio recently told a committee that, from the U.S. perspective, the conflict is technically over. This narrative is supported by a specific domestic move. The House of Representatives recently passed a bill, 215-208, designed to block the commander-in-chief from launching a war with Iran. This legislation places a legal lock on the American military's response, creating a statutory barrier to prevent the country from being drawn into a broader conflict. This anti-war sentiment places a hard limit on the incoming administration. It restricts Donald Trump's capacity for aggressive retaliation, regardless of how the situation on the ground evolves. By legally stepping back to avoid a massive war, the U.S. is creating a geopolitical vacuum. It is a space where localized proxy tragedies, like the strike on Kuwait International Airport, can continue without a direct response.